different belief systems.
Yes.
How do I hold the space of love so I'm not just, like you said earlier, in meditation, one with spirit, but how do I connect with spirit when spirit is dressed up as a person, vehemently anchored in a different viewpoint?
Right.
And I've just taken the idea of every kind of sticky situation where people will say, hey, this teaching makes sense, but what about this circumstance? And I wanted to write a book, especially at this time in history. I wanted to address difficult. And I talk about so much. I share a lot of personal stories from my life that people have never heard. I talk in a whole chapter about my experience of systemic racism and the realizations I had. And for me, this is the most, I mean, I love every book I've ever written, channeled. This book for me is it.
This book for me is it. Can I say it?
I think I have a prediction it's going to be a bestseller because all the cells of my body are tingling with the hunger for the information that the book contains.
How many times have we been asked, what do I do about my family? You know, and I can't get away from it, and you know, it drives me crazy, and I'm trying to hold a love connection. This is a book we need, and we need
Thank
it.
you.
So when do you think it might happen?
Well, I know it's coming out in the spring of next year. You know, it's being published through Sounds True. I'm actually doing my last week of edits this week, and it's going to be published in the spring of next year. And, you know, with the stories I tell, because everything I've practiced on how to communicate, I've practiced with my family, at family functions, for better or for worse. Aww. And I've really learned some very specific things that I think that are very pivotal and powerful. And the book itself, I don't know. Lee, I know, as you know, when you're sitting there and you have a feeling like you are capturing lightning in a bottle, like when I channel and I feel that holy, you know what, coming through me, I'm channeling, and then I kept pressing save like every 3 seconds because I'm so afraid it's going to delete. And then I send myself a copy because I'm just so freaked. Like, this is so amazing. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh my God. But for me, this is, when I write from the perspective of, if this is the last thing I write, this is what I want to leave behind as my contribution to the world.
I agree.
And I feel like with this book, my other book's incredible, but for me, it felt like it really prepared me for what I've put into this book. And I am just like, wow.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a unique book. It's a book for its time. There would be those who say, why do I have to wait for so long? And yet I believe that the timing is going to be perfect.
Yeah,
as we're going to see it unfold. This has been absolutely delightful, Matt. And as I say, and I told you in our private time, I know you're a busy guy. And for us to spend this little time with you and all of those who are watching is such a privilege for us, and very timely. And so thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's an honor. I've admired your work for many years. I've wanted to meet you somehow. And so for me, this has actually been a very blessed experience. And I just look forward to more time of connecting. And any way we can all come together for the benefit of our world would truly touch my heart.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So delicious, so heart-opening. I know everyone who is tuning into this is also having an explosion of their cells and an opening of their heart. Yeah. So please go and check out mattcahn.org if you haven't already. And we are going to take a 10-minute break and then be back for the Circle of 12.
Welcome back, everyone. Monica and I were just really talking among ourselves and enjoying this time we had with Matt. A man for our time.
So delightful.
Just exuding love. I understand by watching him why he has so many followers. People have really seen the purity there. It's a wonderful thing to see.
Really, absolutely. Just so beautiful. So please go and visit his website and check out those YouTube videos. I'm sure you're going to enjoy them. Earlier, we talked about the questions and how there's so many people in trouble. And Lee mentioned that for this month at least, we wanted to focus on sending love and compassion to those who are in trouble. So in this next section, before we go to the circle of 12, I invite you to join me in that exact intention. For us, as old souls, as light workers, joining together to send love and compassion to everyone on the planet, especially those who in these moments are faced with maybe fears, anxieties, worries, concerns, and all of those that are going through this. What we want to do is generate an energetic hug of love that we are going to send collectively to every person on this beautiful planet going through extraordinary times of shift and change. And you may even wish to place your hands on your heart where we are generating this connection, this emotion, this feeling, this transformance of energy, of love. So just spend a few more moments feeling, sensing, imagining that great big hug of love we are sending to everyone. You may even feel or sense a hug being sent to you, embracing you. For as we do to ourselves, we do to others. And you may feel that wave of love coming back to you. And if you're feeling that wave of love, let us send that out again, but amplified. So we are now sending an amplification of that original hug of love. And just spend a few more moments now to quietly integrate that wave of love. And you may gently relax your hands and just be aware that that wave of love will continue even beyond this time together, and even after the circle of 12, this wave of love continues. And so we'll just now quietly sit and receive the message from Kryon for tonight's circle of 12.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon. Come a little closer. The circle of 12, the very name, should elicit in you a feeling, perhaps even a reality. Those who have experienced this over and over know of what I speak. The answer to one of the questions, my partner said the circle of 12 represents a way of life. It is not a meditation. The circle of 12 is more than a soul experience. It's an example. How close can you be to the Creator of all things, which you call God or Spirit? Do you have permission to be so close that you have the same love essence as the Creator, or all the prophets, or the highest masters? There would be those on this planet who would say no. There are those on this planet who would profess to have the absolute truth and the love of God, and then to tell you that you are not worthy. Dear ones, you are worthy. If there is one message I would have, that the love of God is everything, that love is everything. The word itself cannot even begin to describe what it is. It's peace, it's healing, it's longer life for you on this planet. It is the essence, the thickness of all that is in the light of the entire universe. It is more than you can ever describe with that one word. And to think that there are those who would keep you from it, thinking you're not good enough for it, they don't have the full story. Perhaps they haven't felt it yet. But the invitation is for you to always feel it. Do you think that the Creator would have put you here and then judged you on what you did so that you couldn't get close? Would you do that to your children? Would you judge something that they did when they were very, very young and say, well, I'm sorry, you can never see my face again? That is exactly what some are telling you right now. It is so much grander than any belief system on this planet that limits God to the rules that they have established. There's only one essence, and it is love. And in that, there are answers to almost every issue from anyone watching this right now. Answers and solutions to almost any question that's being asked. It's so fascinating to see how human beings get their most creative, beautiful, correct, accurate solutions. And it's normally when they're not concentrating on them. It's renowned. You ask inventors and artists and composers, and they'll say, I do my best work when I'm not thinking about my work. When I disengage, or perhaps I have an aha experience in the twilight before I go to sleep, or even during a dream. But when I start to use my intellect and then concentrate, what shall I do? How shall I do it? Is it enough? Is it not enough? Is it right? Is it wrong? Then nothing happens. Have you thought about that? Love is so beautiful, pervasive, if you want it to be, in all of your life, that truly there's a time when you can sit and not even concentrate on your issues. And by not concentrating on them, you'll get the answers, and some will flow in automatically. There are some guests who appeared on this very show who will tell you that they were not thinking about something, they had a spontaneous remission. It's almost they had to clear the way and let the Creator in and let love do its work. What a profound idea. The circle of 12 is a model. It's a model for getting out of the way. There is nothing wrong with the intellectual human being, dear ones, as long as that intellectual does not then rule the spiritual. For an intellectual is a high thinker. There's a place of balance for everything. But when it comes to some multidimensional ideas of the universe, the galaxy, your soul, and your life, the intellect cannot begin to make sense of it. So you cannot use, for instance, a very limited computing device to compute love. It's not computable. And yet there are those constantly, even those listening now, would say, well, I would like to figure out what he's talking about. So if you're one of those who wants to figure out what I'm talking about, I will say to you, you will never figure out what I'm talking about. It's not figure-outable until you stop and assess that which is around you in a beautiful way and stop figuring it out. That is when you may have your aha experience. Our guest today, Matt, he had one. One of the things he will tell you is after the white angel appeared to him, even at 8 years old, he figured it out for years. Into that, which is adulthood, figuring it out for years.